Hi guys, it's Gav here in the field at near East Linton. Now, I just wanted to share with you some very special stones, quite obvious on the old A1, basically on the new A1 as well. You can actually see one of them. This is a more female stone, the one that's more east rather than west, and you can see it behind me. It's a fantastic stone. I just wanted to share with you a few pointers about how to get into them and how I've got into them. I've done a lot of work with these two stones particularly. They're fantastic. So they're a bit like, it's a bit like our ancestors to me, leaving us messages, helpful messages that can help us in the time we're living in now. And one of the things that I love about them is simply when you approach them or notice them, they all have one thing in common, although I have come across them lying down once. They have an uprightness. So that's just fantastic. I just think that's fantastic because it's a message about, to me, it's a message about being upright in your life, on the landscape. And it's such an important quality as a human being, and have that kind of rock solid foundation, because they are made of rock, so it's this rock solid foundation of being upright in the landscape, and just to feel your presence of this uprightness in the landscape. And that's just the start. And then the other way that I get into them is very simple. It's a very simple technique. It's using art and basically approach the stones as an artist. And this is great because each time like this time of night, it's dusk. As you can see, it's nearly dark. And the stones have a relationship to the surrounding landscape. So they have this element of living within the landscape. And that's just, you can see the light. I'll go round it a bit. You can see as I go round it, you get this whole different feeling quality of the stone. Just moving around it, and each angle that you look at it, you get a different feeling quality of the stone. See, it's changing all the time. It's amazing, isn't it? Look at it. Look at that, the way it changed there. There we go. Look at that, the light on it, the light quality on it there. You can really get a feel of that. It's great using a camera. I've not actually done that before, but using a camera to just go around it. And at each different angle, you get a different artistic impression of the stone. So it gives you this kind of feeling quality. And through that feeling quality, you can get, if you tap into the silence behind it, just feel that presence. It's a really strong presence, isn't it, of that stone behind me. Oh, this stone's amazing. I love it. So Yeah, so that's one thing, that's one way, all these different angles of looking at it. It's great to do what I call these Goethean landscape observations when there's a whole group of you and you can go around and say what you see from that angle. And just the way the lines contour with the landscape and also the light. It's amazing the way it's a relationship it has with the air. You can see how much higher this one is than me. These ones are great. Anyway, so the next way I get into it is using the lines of the stone. I go into it that way. You can see the shape. Going to get a shape, and this one's got this kind of cut out of it here, and then this longer bit coming round. I've done a lot of work with this stone. I just want to share with you one secret about this stone. I really have a strong relationship to it. So to me, this stone has this Madonna quality. So it's kind of like, it's almost like she's carrying a child. Can you see that? You look at it that way. It's actually better the further you go away. You can really feel it resonating with me just even speaking that out. You can see it stronger there. You can see she's got that kind of cloak-like quality on her. The head at the top's quite pronounced. So it has these, each one has these simple artistic qualities that are given through these lines. And I just love the way they pick the rock. They've obviously picked this rock. Look, it's getting a bit hard to see the actual quality in it. But that's actually quite good. Look at that angle. See what I mean about the way the angle changes? Fantastic, isn't it? Look at that. She's a beautiful one. And it is, to me, it's like a sculpture from our ancestors about the qualities in the landscape, this kind of godlike quality in the landscape and how it can bring about healing. So these are like kind of man-made, they obviously put them here, sculptures that they've obviously picked the rock as well. So you can see how it's so profound when you start to get into it. And it's like you're having a conversation with the artists that put it there, just by being present. And that's what's fantastic, because it's like these guys that put it there are actually here with me now. Can you get into that? It's profound, isn't it? And it's just such an amazing aspect. And it's so simple. It's basically approach it as an artist would and just come to it different times of day. Work is really good if you just work with one stone. Like I worked with these stones over about 4 years. I had a job, a gardening job. I used to come past here and I'd spend about an hour in the morning just drawing them. And through that you get a really in-depth relationship to the part of the healing quality of the landscape, but also the way these people that put it there, the way they could see things that we have to work or listen to our inner self to see clearly. But they had a way of just being given that kind of seeing, these ancient druidic artist that put these stones out there in the first place. You can see that it relates to this quality in the landscape here. So the other thing that I find profound about it is the way that it just speaks to all these people driving by on the road. It's really, they're just kind of sitting there in the middle of the field, and it just kind of like, it's like they knew the right place to put it, and it just speaks to the people going by in a really profound way. And the best way of getting into them is through this quality of silence, just allowing yourself to tap into this inner quiet within and listen to the gesture of the stone within the gesture of the landscape, because it's profound how each one of these lines relates to an aspect of the landscape here. So highly recommend doing a landscape study in a group. If you're ever over in Scotland and you want to do one, get in touch. And normally I'll be offering something in relationship to landscape study, and it's profound if you do it next to these or as part of these sites. Look at that, look at the gesture there. I'm just going to finish by walking round her again so you can see her now and the way it's changed just in the time I've been talking.